total shit show. And can he please take off the one-piece shirt? You're ruining that anime for so many people.
Lately standing for what's right.
In case you're unaware, there's a lot of chaos going on over on the Twitch platform involving the Middle East. Now, obviously, I'm mostly a YouTuber, but I do stream on Twitch, and I'm an American, so you know, people expect you to have an opinion on the Middle East, but like, to be honest, like, I don't even feel like I know enough to really give like a true opinion on it. So instead of focusing on what's going on over there, we're going to mainly focus on the interactions between Ethan and Hasan and this person Frogan, and whether or not the bans are legit, where you know, the ethics behind all this crap. And then you know, we'll probably take some requests. If you guys want to make me watch some specific things, we can do that. I've been helping victims, so they come first. I'm afraid I will be late sometimes. Well, that's no excuse, sweet goth. No excuse to be helping people. All right, help me. That's the important thing. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, we have a lot of really cool people in this community who do a lot of good things. I would never in a million years expect y'all to abandon what you guys are doing to do that for me. All right, let me get down to the corner. Let me get on down to that corner there. I almost let Chick Nugs host this show, but he ended up going to the bar instead. So Chick Nugs is not here. Yeah, Chick Nugs was this close. He was this close. E.g. laying on the sarcasm extra thick. Yeah, it's Friday. Why not? Why not? And I have no weekend. I get no weekend because I'm going to be working the whole weekend. So that sucks. That kind of sucks. Let me get this screen up here real quick. I'm a little slow on the uptick. A little slow on the old uptick there. And then maybe later we'll do a little bit of gaming to wrap up the stream. But that's, I think, the best place to start. Let's just check out what's going on with Ethan. Klein comments Frogan. So if you guys don't know who Frogan is she's like a moderator for Hasan. So that's pretty much how she got popular. I think a good way to check this out would probably be Philip DeFranco. He seems like a pretty unbiased source, right? So he'll just tell us everything that's going on with this whole story. And then we can go back and then we can look into more stuff and get people's opinions and stuff like that. But take it away, Philly D.
We gotta talk about this Twitch dumpster fire, because there are actually several different news stories happening here, though kind of at the center of it, you have Ethan Klein, Hasan Piker, and a creator by the name of Frogan. But where we'll start is with the fact that over the past few days, we've seen the platform accused.
I think Frogan's just really excited to be mentioned with those two.
Of ignoring anti-Semitism by creators like Ethan Klein. Multiple content creators have been banned for what were deemed hateful comments, and all of the fallout that's come from that as creators and fans go after one another. Though
yeah, so Asmongold was one of the people who were banned for taking a pro-Israel stance, I believe.
Technically, you could say that all of this started when Asmongold made his horrendous comments last week degrading Gazans, which, as we covered on the show, was something he apologized profusely for after getting banned. But then the spotlight
we covered that
on the situation shifted after Klein put out a video last Thursday called Twitch Has a Major Problem. And in that video, Ethan claims that Twitch harbors
We're going to take a look at that too after this.
Semites and actively ignores it. And as some evidence, he points out that Twitch recently unbanned Sneeko and Fresh and Fit, content creators that are unambiguously anti-Semitic. And then on top of that, he highlighted...
I'm pretty sure they got banned already again since they were unbanned, so that's pretty strange.
Highlighted this segment from an official panel at TwitchCon, where multiple Arab content creators alongside some non-Arabs made a tier list.
Well, it's a panel hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator, and it's kosher.
Yeah, who would have thought that out of all the people that would become super anti-Semitic, it would be like super left people? Isn't that what they've used to constantly blame the alt-right for being anti-Semitic, and now that's their main calling card?
An American company, but they've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad. I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way. And what's crazy...
He's not wrong. Now, listen, I have my issues with Ethan Klein, but, you know, you can't deny that what he's saying here isn't right. The classic good to the bottom scale. Yeah, I'm surprised that they went for... That's just blatant... I mean, it's blatant anti-Semitism, is it not? Are we being crazy here by saying that? Now, listen, you can both support what's going on in Gaza and say that it's atrocious while also saying Jews aren't bad. As the same. Anti-Israeli is not anti-Semitic. I understand it's a really complex situation. We're not going to get into the specifics about it. They mainly focus on the Twitch banning and what's going on with there. And I've had my political takes in the past, but I don't feel like I'm qualified enough to be able to really give a take on whether or not what's going on over there is just or not. I did see the October stuff, and that was pretty horrendous, so I can understand Israel wanting to retaliate, but I also understand that what's happening to the people in Gaza is very sad. That's pretty much the most you're going to get out of me in regards to like what's actually going on in the Middle East.
I've been suspecting that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem.
I mean, that's if you want to be black and white about it, Fern. That's true. I mean, that's a fair point. It's definitely a fair point you're making.
Obviously, it started with Hasan platforming Houthi terrorists and showing unfettered terrorist propaganda on his channel.
And then along with that,
Yeah, didn't he try to sell that as like some kind of musical number? No, I still think they're anti-Semitic. I still think they're very anti-Semitic.
Klein also added,
If they were really serious about anti-Semitism, Sneeko and Fresh and Fit would never have been brought back to the platform. It's just a no-brainer, right? But they were welcomed back with open arms. And I mean, their whole platform essentially for the past year has just been anti-Semitism. I'm not even kidding. And that's literally all they talk about.
now all of that then led to
I mean, he's right, though. He's right. Like, how many times has Hasan bolstered up stuff saying, like, certain bombs are what they're not? I play DCS, which is Digital Combat Simulator, and I'm pretty sure he called something a JDAM, which clearly wasn't a JDAM. If you drop a JDAM in DCS, it's like this massively big bomb. You cannot mistake it for any other bomb. And I think he actually played a clip from DCS as whatever is going on over there. And the JDAM, it's a bomb that goes down and then explodes a bunch of times. I think it's actually illegal to use them because it does so much destruction. You just agreed with me that anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitic. You're breaking my brain here, Fern. Isn't like Zionism is like pro-Israel, right? And then anti-Semitic is anti-all Jewish, right? You agreed with me that anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitic. So anti-Semitic, to mistake a JDAM for a BCS or a PFP or whatever. Oh my, DCS is a game, all right? And a JDAM is a bomb. They're completely two different things. I'm not sure what your purpose is here, Fern. I don't know. I don't feel like I can hit it yet. I don't feel like I can hit the button yet, but I'm curious like what Fern's purpose is here. I mean, you can question me all you want about Israel and stuff like that, and I'm not going to get any further than everything happening over there sucks for both sides. There's no way that Israel can defend itself without looking bad, and there's no way that Palestine really has a shot at fighting back. So, and you can't make it a two-state solution because they just don't get along. They've never gotten along. Like it's like an impossible task to figure out right now.
Frogan, who's a mod for Hasan Piker's stream and also streams herself, responding and writing on Twitter. Ethan Klein lied again and said myself, Arabs, which is the show, and our guest did a tier list where, quote, good equals Arab and Jew equals bad, which isn't what happened. Our tier list was, quote, who has Habibi Pass, which is a meme tier list we did with a variety of creators. Here is the clip with the context. Rather than sharing a clip from that event and adding, the whole basis of my podcast, Arabs with Capri and Raf, is that we are all Arabs from different religious backgrounds.
Hasan Piker looks like the whitest dude ever. He can claim that he's Arab all the time, but one look at him and you would think white dude, right? But yet he like hates white people as far as I'm concerned. Yes, please clarify for.
I am Muslim, Capri is Christian, and Raf is Jewish. Sabra hummus is objectively the worst hummus to exist and is the unfortunate standard of hummus in the US. Right, and so with that, you had some feeling that was a
Isn't hummus just a dipping sauce? Why are they going so off about hummus?
reasonable response, though.
You dip your bagel in it.
Others still called it a dog whistle to say Israeli without saying, especially given the context Klein gave earlier.
I know he's Turkish, but he also looks like a white man. So it's like I'm aware that he's Turkish, but he also looks white. It's like kind of ironic that he hates white people, but also looks exactly like the rest of us. Sabra isn't that great to me. It's hard to find a good one. I'm like making my own. You like making your own? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hummus or Hamas. Isn't that weird how Hamas and hummus are so close together? Wonder if there's any connection there.
About its popularity in Israel. However, all of that was kind of just the tip of the iceberg, because Frogan ended up deciding just a day later to open up an entirely new can of worms after saying on stream,
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. Yeah, so Let's go. Thank you so much, Soul. You the bomb diggity. No pun intended. Damn YouTube algo getting it done. Thank you, Positive. I appreciate it. We're a little out of our realm here. Normally, we just talk drama. And if you're coming in here, my name's EG. Mainly talk about drama that involves influencers, and we take on crazy stories in here a lot. We're going to try to mainly focus on Twitch banning, what's right and what's wrong. We're not going to get into like the weeds here. We're not going to be talking about Israel and Palestine and all that stuff. But if you guys are coming to see, like, you know, whether or not, you know, Twitch is valid in their bans and stuff like that, then you got the right place.
U.S. military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. The ones the ones I'm like whatever about the U.S. soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. The U.S. military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong. Like, I'm changed. Like, imperialism. This.
Didn't this girl win up and coming creator 2 times in a row? Like best up and coming creator. She's like literally saying here, F all US veterans. I personally don't understand how Twitch can get behind that. I don't understand how they could put her up there. She won it a bajillion times. First off, it's kind of insulting to win that twice, right? Because you would think that after you won up and coming creator, like that's it for you, right? You should be up and comed by then. But to win it twice, or as Positive says, a bajillion times, at some point, you got to be like, that would suggest to me that she hasn't like grown at all and that she's still stuck at the bottom. You accused the leftists of being anti-Semitic, apparently due to anti-Zionist sentiment. So I thought you were conflating criticism of Zionism with anti-Semitism. You know what I see, Fern? I see a lot of people who are taking their passion for this being critical of Israel a little too far. And as someone who was raised as like conservative, I find it odd that like growing up, a lot of people would say that conservatives were like the super anti-Semitic ones. But yet it seems like now the far left, especially Hasan, seems to be the most critical of anything relating to Judaism in any way. That's mainly my take on that. That's where I was coming with that. I find it a little bit ironic.
You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD, and I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Now, with that, she did.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, if you say anything like this about veterans, first off, if you've never been to war and you've never enlisted, you've never been in a war zone, and I feel like Frogan probably never leaves her room, let alone enough to be able to put her own mind inside of a soldier's experience. To say that I wish you got PTSD, in my opinion, is like disgusting. They're doing genocide. They can't be too critical of that. I think that is vastly silly statement. Yeah, I mean, that's your personal opinion, I guess. If you guys want to, I kind of had a feeling that this was going to be a bit of a hot button topic, but you know what? I'm just going to have to just stick with my guns here. And if it makes people upset, welcome to my channel.
Did eventually give a sorta apology, but even with that, many users pointed out that Twitch's hateful conduct specifically covers veteran status, so they argued that she should be banned, arguing things like Twitch ban logic. Rogan's.
See, Fern, I totally disagree with you because from what I've seen, most people who are conservatives seem to be very supportive of Israel. So I don't understand how I understand like the alt-right grew up being fans of Hitler and shit like that. But from what I've seen, people like Ben Shapiro, you know, he's a Jewish guy, but he's obviously 100% for Israel. It seems like Ethan Klein is for Israel as well. But yet they still have completely different takes within the whole political realm. Being steadfast about defending a state doing genocide is crazy, but I guess that's what we got in 2024. Yeah, I mean, listen, all I'm going to say is as an American, let's say Mexico came in and started just straight up killing our citizens. If you don't think that the U.S. would have a response to that, you know, you're insane, right? Now, how far of a response is where you get into what is enough? Like bombing the whole entire country seems to be a little outrageous. But again, we're talking about the Gaza Strip. This isn't a giant country. So there's really nothing Israel could do. They're going to look bad if they bomb places, but it's going to look bad either way, you know?
Saying military service.
Again, though, all right, I'm done. I'm not talking about, okay, Liz, when did I say it justifies genocide ever? When did I go, you know what? They deserved it. Wherever in my entire back and forth right there did I ever co-sign genocide? Guarantee you can't find it because it didn't happen. The better analogy is America and the Native Americans. America is founded on genocide, and so is Israel. None of us were alive for that, right? And I would feel like, as an American, I feel like our country has tried to improve the best it can. I'm not dealing with this. You guys are going a little too hard. You guys are going a little too hard in the chat, all right? I didn't want to get into, like, the Israel stuff. Not high enough, apparently, because I can't understand a word you're saying. First up, you haven't really said anything that warrants any knowledgeable thought whatsoever. You've been waiting for me to say something, and then whatever I say, you nitpick it, right? You find little things in there where you could try to manipulate it into something it wasn't, right? Going too hard on genocide. All right, guys, they asked for it. Troll alert. First time troll alert. Yeah, they're coming hard. You know what the thing is, right? They drag you kicking and screaming into talking about the Middle East. What I clearly said in the beginning of this, the main thing I'm going to focus on is the Twitch bans and whether or not they were valid. But yet everybody keeps wanting to say genocide, they're committing genocide. It's like, okay, I didn't fucking even bring that up. What are you even talking about? Like, what are you even going on about? It's like they just want to hear you say something that pisses them off. You haven't offered one single thought yet. You haven't explained yourself whatsoever. You wait for me to say something and then you nitpick the shit out of it. How is that a conversation? You're here though, Liz. You're here, right? So apparently this 14 viewer stream is doing pretty well. Stop defending it and you'd probably have better time. I don't know though. Sorry, I can't. Like, I'm not defending anything. What did I defend? From what I understand, I mean, you guys didn't want me to talk about it. Okay, but here we go. All right. I'm going to get serious now. You wanted me to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. From what I understand, I saw paragliders with parachutes and fans fly into a country, start just murdering anybody they could find. And then everybody gets all upset when Israel does something to retaliate for that. But yet y'all are all calling it genocide. Why? What did you want Israel to do? Just be like, okay, well, you got us. Shucks. It's stupid, right? So I'm trying to give you guys the benefit of doubt by saying, is Israel going too far? Yeah, probably in a bunch of instances they're going too far. But you guys don't even let me say that, right? Because you guys are instantly like, genocide, he wants genocide. You guys love that word. You guys love that word. Should I use the word consenting to help you understand it better? No. In fact, I think we're probably done here. This whole situation, like, you guys are exactly why nobody fucking talks about this. Everybody says, oh, why don't you talk about this? Why don't everybody talk? It's because of y'all motherfuckers. You don't come in and have any kind of, it's a prison break. Really though, it's a prison break. Okay, well then those people deserve to be in prison because they're straight murderers. How about that? This is the most retarded thing ever, dude. What you go? You went to Germany, Soul? Yeah, I guarantee those concentration camps were much worse. No one wants to hear a nobody talk about this. I am a guy who is on the internet streaming because I can. And I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. How about that, Liz? How about that? And y'all can't stop me, okay? Y'all can't stop me. I'ma keep going. Bye-bye. All right, Fert and Liz are gone. Dude, that was like insane, right? They didn't even let me say anything. They were just like, you said genocide. You're supporting what the fuck did I say that supports genocide? And then you know, see, I got the power, baby. Yeah, this 14 viewer streamer just fucking kicked you out of the chat. I'll take 12. Give me 12 people watching happily. Yo, I didn't want to say it, guys. I didn't want to say it, but I ended up saying it, man. I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm a man of principle. I'm a man who follows my heart. And I'm sorry, but it's just too much, man. It's just too much. Like, they wonder why nobody wants to fucking talk about this. And then they jump on people's asses before they even have a chance to talk. They say in the chat what they want to hear, right? They don't care what I say. They just go in the chat and say what they want to hear. Hasan Piker's a fucking retard. How about that, Fert? Suck on that one. So is Ethan Klein. Ben Shapiro for president. Now I'm going to get banned from Twitch for saying that. I disavow. I'm just trolling my trollers. Oh my God, dude. How insane. How fucking retarded. They just jumped right in and just went ape shit. They didn't let you get a word out, right? They're just typing. You leave Frogan alone? I don't think I will. Okay? Anybody who says that veterans all deserve PTSD, not getting left alone. I apologize. She's a nice lady. Yeah, so nice. She's such a nice lady. She said she's going to make a, what was it, 9/11 cake? Yeah, as American, I support that. Kiss my ass. I wish I hadn't been late. Yeah, Roger, you're missing all the good shit. I should have just left them in the chat and just started telling them what I really think, what my politics really are. Trump for president. Let's go. Listen, Sinister Sharkfish. All right, I try not to be that type of creator. However, sometimes the best way to describe something is sometimes a slur. Unfortunately, if we're going to be realistic about it, all right? I apologize if it offends you, okay? It's not my style, but, you know, sometimes it's just the best for the situation just to explain it that way, you know? But I'm not ableist or any weird analogy, whatever people want to say like that. I mean, this is a great way to get people in the stream. I'll say that much. Just put that you're going to be talking about this stuff.
Service members should get PTSD. No suspension. E-girl streams softcore porn.
Using slurs like wokely. I don't think I've said woke yet once. I think I've been pretty good at being pretty fair to everybody. There's always a better word to use that isn't dehumanizing. Okay, Sinister. I literally just said sorry to you. Now you're gonna come at me too? Oh man, we're gonna be using this button a lot, guys. It's gonna be one of them days. It's gonna be one of them days, man. Sorry, I like my country. I like America. All right, I don't care if y'all hate it. Go hate it yourselves. I'm gonna keep talking about how these colors don't run, baby. This should have been chick nugs. I'm about to go get chick in here. He'll handle this real quick. It's so stupid, man. Everybody's all mad because I'm not singing that fucking song. Do you understand what that song actually means from the creek to the pond? Something will be free. I can't actually say because it's actually really incredibly terrible to sing that. And to be honest with you, I would rather have 2 people watching me than abandon my morals and all of a sudden become anti-American. No effing way. The only reason I'm alive today is because my country never gave up on me. My county had things in place to help me get my life together. And now I have it together. So as far as I'm concerned, America's fucking great. Right? I will never bash this fucking great country. And if they want me to, they can kiss my ass. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I can't say whatever I want because I'm on people's platforms and that's their private company. So if I gotta follow their rules. But in America, I can go out on the street and literally say whatever the hell I want. Those people could come in here and say what they want to me, right? Because they know that I can't like physically retaliate or anything like that, right? Because that's against the law. So it's like people just come in and they troll because they want you to say what they want you to say. But boy, that troll button's gonna get a lot of use tonight. That's right. If you ain't about America, you in the wrong fucking stream, pal. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, now I can actually talk about it the way I want. I should have just let them stay in here, but they were hijacking the chat from y'all, and I'm not down with that. But I had a feeling that could always be the case. It's like everybody's like, oh, but you want to make fun of my numbers, whatever, you're gone. If you don't have anything of substance to offer, you're gone. That's it. You're out of here. You're out of here. They were personally dragging you with insults. I know. The minute they have to start being like, look how many people you have watching. Guess what? My 14 people watching are 10 times cooler than anybody you've ever met in your whole entire life. How about that? Go stream. See how many people you get. Probably less than that. I ain't scared. Yeah. To be honest, like when they first started coming at me, I'm like, you could see that I was kind of like working out in my mind how I was going to approach this. So I was kind of like stuttering over my words a little bit. And I think that they thought that that was like going to be a way to, you know, trick me up and make me look stupid. But really all I was doing was working out in my mind. Okay, do I want to try to hear these people out or do I want to just stick to what my beliefs are? And at first I was kind of trying to play like the nice guy. Okay, I'll hear you out. What do you have to say? You know, okay, yeah, cool. That's a good point, whatever. And then that wasn't enough for them, right? And then they got mad that I agreed with them, which I don't. Personally, I don't agree with them. I think Israel has every right to defend themselves. Please don't ban me, Twitch. I do think that what's happening in Gaza is very, very sad. I don't want to see anybody suffer. Regardless of what Asmongold thinks, I don't want anybody to suffer. I don't care where you come from in the world. Everybody has the right to have a peaceful life, regardless of culture, skin color, you name it. However, I'm also not the type of person who is going to bash my country because it's the hip, cool thing to do. That person specifically said, if you were to hop on our narrative, abandon everything that I really, truly believe, then you might get more viewers. Nope, not interested. Why? So I can have a bunch of people watching me who are just waiting for me to say the wrong thing so that they can all attack me? No way. Give me a conservative audience every day. Conservative audiences let you say what you want. And if they disagree with you, they let you talk your way out of it or hear you out. The left side does not do that. They hear you, they flip the fuck out. New word alert, flaming. At first, I thought you were trying to actually present some logic, and then they just switched to straight flaming. Yeah, Zach, that's what I thought too. I was like, all right, let's hear them out. Let's hear what they have to say. Maybe they'll teach me something. And then out of nowhere, they just all of a sudden just started going hardcore. Oh, well, you back down right away. Okay, well, then why are you saying it? If you don't want me to agree with you, why are you saying it? You know? But like, again, I haven't been shy about my politics, okay? I lean right. I wouldn't say that I'm hardcore or anything like that. In my 20s, I was very democratic, but that's because it was a different type of party back then, right? It was just all about people getting rights to have quality life. It's not that anymore. It doesn't represent that anymore. And my policies haven't moved, right? Back in the day, this was the center, I was probably here. Now, the left has gone so far to the left that I've actually moved over here and now would be considered right. That's not my changing of policies. That's the party changing and then my policy staying the same and then getting moved over to a different bracket. I would probably say I'm classic because again, I don't have any problem with people who want to be trans, right? That I'd prefer them not to be trans before 18. I'd prefer them not to share locker rooms with girls that were born with a vagina. However, at the same time, I also think that America is a great country. I think that what happened to people on 9/11 is absolutely terrible. I think that Donald Trump is a better candidate right now than Kamala Harris. Get over it. Those are my politics. Guess who I voted for last election? Joe Biden. I should have voted for Trump, but I voted for Trump the first time. And then I thought, okay, maybe if Biden gets in there, all this rioting and crazy shit will stop. I documented BLM riots. It's all on my Facebook though. So I've been doing it for a while, but I jump back and forth. Some of my viewpoints are like left, but the majority of my viewpoints would now be considered right. And that's not because I abandoned my belief in that people should all be able to live however they want. It's because I don't agree with people walking down the street shaking their ass in front of little kids because they're trying to celebrate the fact that they like the same sex. Exactly what I said a moment ago. Left and right switched years ago and no one really noticed. Exactly.
Well, would you
exactly.
look at that?
And what I
Someone's
was saying to
guilty
that
of being
guy
total
that he kept
badass.
getting so
Chick
mad
notes
about
approves
is that
this myth.
isn't it funny
Punk
that
Cat
like,
Lady
the far
subscribe
left
to the
now,
channel.
I guarantee they're like hardcore Hasan Piker people. That's what I'm gathering. They were like big time Hasan Piker people. They didn't like the fact that I pointed out that the far left is now anti-Semitic, which they are. You can't deny that. And yet throughout history, we've always been told that the right is the anti-Semitic one. Now, I'll be honest, probably on far points of each side, there's probably some parts of anti-Semitism on both sides. Far. And I'm talking far ends. Not like regular Republicans, not regular Democrats, but the far ones. Everybody, all of us in the middle are kind of just like stuck between these two crazy ass groups. And we try our best to make sense of it, but the problem is the people who are all full of piss and vinegar over here and the people who are all piss and vinegar over here want you to come and stand with them, yet you're kind of like, well, I kind of see both sides, to be honest with you, and then they're like, no, you're an idiot. Am I the idiot or are you the idiot? Because you're not listening to a goddamn thing I'm saying, but yet you keep saying I'm the idiot all of a sudden. I noticed, but probably because I live in Alaska then. I love that I'm watching myself on my stream. Anyway, let's get back to this video, all right? Now that we kicked out the idiots from the chat.
24-hour suspension. Asmon Gold calling Muslims inferior. 14-day suspension. Being a Jew in Israel, unable to even create an account on the website. Which I'll say, we're going to talk about that last bit at the end of this story. But like always with situations like this led to people digging up old clips of her saying other.
Listen, I'm going to be straight honest. Frogan is a disgusting human being, okay? I'm sorry. My family has a rich history of serving our country, and the fact that she's wishing veterans to have PTSD, she can go kick rocks. All right. That's wishing my cousin. That's wishing my grandfather. That's wishing so many people in my country who've served this country to have terrible lives after they leave the war. And I can't get down with that. I'm sorry. And I never will. I never, ever, ever will.
Questionable things. Like with a clip where it appears that she may be hinting that her cousin may be involved with Hezbollah. But either way, by Monday, Twitch eventually cracked down and banned Frogan, which led many to believe that it was because she was wishing American veterans get PTSD. However, it appears that that is not the official reason. Instead, it appears that it was because of her comments on that TwitchCon panel, which was over a month ago, because they also banned the others on that panel, which also led to calls that it was being racist against Middle Eastern voices. And then on top of that, Twitch permanently banned Sneeko, something that Klein felt was necessary if they wanted to tackle anti-Semitism seriously. And it also looks like the decision was in part.
Listen, I don't know why people have such a hard-on for the Jewish people. You know, they have a rich history of being, you know, successful. Is that something that everybody's super jealous of? Wow, that's the most dastardly best ever. I know. They had a TwitchCon panel with these people on there, and they were praising the destruction of a country. It's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with Twitch, but to be honest with you, like, I could see why Kick is doing so well. Because I'm fearful that I could get banned from Twitch for what I've said this stream. And I haven't said anything terrible. But you fear out of not signing up for this person's narrative that you're going to be screwed. It's scary stuff, man. Scary stuff.
Part taken because of pressure from the Anti-Defamation League, with the ADL even tweeting out a whole thread on this that started by saying, ADL spoke with the Twitch staff today after becoming aware of several concerning incidents on the social media platform and/or involving Twitch streamers in the past week, with them then going on to mention Frogan by name. And so with all this, we've seen Frogan not happy with her 30-day ban, saying 30-day ban for saying people like bottom of the barrel hummus, but other people get 2 weeks for advocating for the genocide of Palestinians. God.
30-day ban for saying people like bottom of the barrel hummus, but other people get 2 weeks for advocating. Yeah, see, it's just, this chick is so dumb. This is such bad takes. And she's won award after award for Twitch at TwitchCon. This is why Twitch is failing. This is why Twitch is not profitable. This is why Kick is going to fly past you guys. I think it already kind of has, to be honest with you. I almost want to compare and see. And I'm streaming on Twitch and Kick right now. And I appreciate all the people who subscribe to me on Twitch. And I appreciate Twitch for giving me affiliate. But, like, they got to clean up because you're alienating so many people, right? You're alienating so many. Imagine being a Jewish person who streams on Twitch and then knowing that the person could scroll to the right and then find someone like Frogan who's talking about how great it would be if all of them weren't alive anymore. Like, that's terrible stuff. Yeah, it was. It was definitely not for hummus. It was not for hummus. I can see why so many other commentators have avoided this. I know Chud talked about it, so I was like, if Chud could talk about it, I could talk about it. But I didn't know that I was going to get jumped so fast. But that's all because people don't have Frogan to watch, right? They saw hashtag Frogan and then jumped in here. And they chased away that positive person who might actually have been somebody who might have actually enjoyed the stream.
Got it. Or with that last part, a pretty obvious reference to Asma.
But she said the chat was like getting hijacked, but then it was getting hijacked by a bunch of idiots. And now they're gone though. Well, actually they can still watch the stream. They just can't comment, or you guys aren't going to see their comments. So they're probably commenting away being like, and we're not seeing it. Have fun typing by yourself, bro.
And Gold's ban. But with all of that said, like, that doesn't even bring us close to the end of all this. Right? Because after the ban of Frogan and others on that panel, many of whom were avid pro-Palestinian voices, content creators like Hasan Piker began to react in frustration. And in particular to a lot of these...
Yeah, because he's been able to, like, call Twitch's head office and get anything done he wants. And can he please take off the One Piece shirt? You're ruining that anime for so many people.
Controversies being spread and encouraged by various subreddits and the creators associated with them, to which Hasan said,
there is no winning in this battle. Okay? There is no winning in this battle. There's nothing you and I or this community or anyone can do. Nothing at all. This is precisely the reason why I just eat it every fucking day. Okay?
Yeah, but you deserve everything you eat, Hasan. That's the thing is, anybody with 2 brain cells they rub together knows that you have no idea what you're talking about 9 times out of 10. You make up half the shit. You read articles that haven't even been proven yet. That's all you do is you scroll through and read like breaking news articles and then give your comments on it when you clearly have no idea what could possibly be going on because those articles usually just came out. Yet you act like you have some kind of knowledge about what's going on here. All right. Does anybody else not see this? Like Willie Mack pointed this out so long ago that Hasan has clearly no idea what the hell he's talking about.
For the past 12 months, this has been endless. Okay? When they can't get anything off of me and my statements, then they fucking turn around and, you know, pick apart different statements from the chat. If they can't do that, they go after people that are also pro-Palestinian.
If I was somebody who was a sellout, I could easily just abandon all of my principles, right, and just start regurgitating the shit that comes out of this guy's mouth. And I guarantee I'd probably be rich by the end of the year. But I can't do it because I won't be able to sleep at night. I love my country. I do. I love my veterans. I can't turn my back on them. And the fact that I'm agreeing with Ethan Klein should say enough about like how terrible Hasan is. I'm like, oh, Ethan Klein's based right now. You would never hear me say that 2 months ago.
but have smaller audiences.
Hasan then went on to claim that many people's opinions are turned into a caricature of who they are. Like, for example, he says that Muslim people are often painted as anti-Semitic no matter what, and with that arguing that there isn't much he can do to change people's minds about it.
There is nothing I can do.
I feel like he feels the walls closing in on him. I was always raised, growing up, my parents always had the American flag out front of our house. We stood for Pledge of Allegiance. That doesn't just come out of you. My family migrated here from Ireland, probably like during the Ellis Island period, if I had to guess. But no, that's not true, because my grandfather was in World War II, and I'm pretty sure I have family that was in the Civil War here as well. So I've been a part of this country for a long time. I'm truly, from head to toe, an American. I mean, look, I got the tattoo to prove it, right? And then I have like half of my family are veterans. Like I have, well, not half of my family, but I have plenty of veterans in my family, and I'm very proud of them. And to watch somebody sit here and wish them to have PTSD, that bothers the shit out of me.
There is nothing I can do. All I can do is just take it. Just like all Capri Sun Poppy and Frogan and everyone else that's getting banned in this mass ban wave, that all they can do is take it.
But then at almost the exact same time Hasan was making these statements on his stream, Klein was also streamed, with most of that criticizing Twitch for having...
We're going to watch Ethan Klein's take on this, and I got to be honest, like, I've never been more behind a guy talking about stuff. I don't agree with Ethan Klein on most things, though, but I did on this.
Anti-Semitism problem, right? Talking about the recent unbans and criticizing people like Hasan for letting it become commonplace on Twitch. And among his problems with Hasan is that he's promoting this guy from Yemen who many think, Klein included, is actively involved in Houthi piracy. So this is others argue that at the very least, He is
100%, and he's filmed himself doing it. And then Hasan said, "You're like Luffy from One Piece. How can you say Frogan is evil when you spend all day defending Hasan, who has said 10 times worse?" Did you say that I defend Hasan? Or are you talking about someone different? Because I am not defending Hasan whatsoever. I think Hasan is an idiot, to be honest with you. I know, I feel like somebody just jumped in at the wrong point, because I've been sitting here criticizing the shit out of Hasan this whole time.
A guy that is extremely anti-Semitic. Klein also blasted Hasan and others because of clips like this.
I think like anyone who does our general job, and especially someone like him who I only make $3 million a month. I'm middle class. He makes $30 million a month.
He's upper middle class.
I'm pretty sure Ethan Klein and Hasan are both incredibly rich. So if Hasan really was about socialism, he should give out some of that. Just give out like, large majorities of the money he makes. But you'll never see that happen, will you?
He's upper middle class, and it's like, we won the lottery. Why are you bitching about the...
This motherfucker says you are rich, so why do you care about anti-Semitism? Also, like, Hasan is as rich, like, probably as rich as I am. Let's be honest.
He's as rich as I am. We're both the same rich, okay? Oh my God. It's like watching two rich jackasses like fight over the last piece of caviar.
He downplays as well. He gets like the same concurrent viewers as we do, and he collects all the money straight to the dome himself, okay? So like the same logic, just say, "Hey, son, why are you getting so worked up about Gaza, man? We won the lottery. You're rich, dude. Just chill." Like, what a pathetic fucking response.
And honestly, I mean, for this part, it kind of just goes on.
I'll be honest though, the good thing is though, even if a lot of people coming into the stream and half of them hate me, as long as I'm still keeping the half that agrees with what I'm saying, that's a win in my book.
And on from there, because they're doing all these during live streams. We're talking about tons and tons of hours.
I mean, literally look at my logo, right? It's red, white, and blue. It's red, white, and blue. Like, what did you expect from me? There's a reason later's red, with is white, and blue is lately. It's because I fucking love my country,
Hours. I'll link to it down below. It's just something we can't cover point by point in this show. So if you want to do an even deeper dive, you have the tools at your fingertips. But then, as I promised I would come back and touch on, something that many people have pointed to as proof that Twitch was being anti-Semitic is the fact that Israelis weren't able to sign up to the site. Right? Among others, you had political commentators like Destiny bring this up, and also Twitch.
Another idiot, Destiny. I used to have so much respect for that guy, and then when he went on his Trump raid about how the guy at the Trump rally deserved what he got, that changed my whole perspective on Destiny. Do you ever worry that your love of your country can blind you? When I love someone, it can be hard to see their faults, generally just speaking. Now, nice shirt. Okay, that's an insightful comment. Thank you for at least having an insightful comment. I will never say that America is perfect, because it's not. There's no such thing as a perfect country. But I see a country that is constantly trying to improve. They're constantly trying to make our living situation better. They've made tons of mistakes. The way that they exited Afghanistan was atrocious. The Vietnam War never even probably needed to happen. I can't stand the amount of money that they keep sending to Ukraine when we have so much that we need here done. But I also don't think that it's deserving of the hate that it gets either, Nice Shirt. And that's my opinion on it. I like living here. But I have an interesting backstory of why I like my country. I don't know if we're still in the constantly trying to improve. Quite honestly, our support for what's going on in Gaza says otherwise. Well, you know why that is, Nice Shirt, right? That's because we get so much money from Israel. Okay, now my foreign policy is not great, right? I'm not a political commentator, but I do follow politics. But we get so much money from Israel that there's no way that the people are going to turn their backs on them. But at the same time, it's not our fight, really. I think it's a mutual. Fair point. But think of it like this. America looks at Israel as like our base in the Middle East, right? It's our way of keeping an eye on countries that may do us harm. And I think that that's why they look at Israel as like such a crucial ally. Now, again, I don't want to get too much into the weeds with political talk because I mainly just want to focus on the influencers here and not on like the politics behind it. But, you know, I can love my country and also realize that there's flaws. But there's no perfect country out there, except maybe Amsterdam. Amsterdam's pretty great. And it's not a country either. I think it's like a city. But yeah, that's a pretty dope city. I understand you guys are passionate about this, right? And I respect your passion for it. But unfortunately, like as an everyday blue collar worker who's just trying to make sure my kids are fed, it's not my number one priority or worry at this moment. I mean, you could make the same argument about everybody who has an iPhone and how those are made in China. That could be a huge issue as well that people could talk about. If you want to talk about humanitarian crises, right? But we're not. And right now, we're just mainly focusing on Twitch and the bans and the stuff like that. But I get what you're saying. Appreciate you like stopping by and giving me your opinions. But that word means nothing to me at this point. And I'm just trying to speak honestly about it. And it sucks that's what's happening in Gaza. It does. Anytime people are losing their lives is an absolute tragic thing, and I never want to see it happen to anybody, regardless of where you're from in the world. Everybody should be able to live. But I was blessed enough to be born in this country, and I get to live a normal life. You know what I mean, Nice Shirt? Like, we have another situation here where someone's trying to take my words and twist them. I am not living there. My day-to-day life is not directly impacted by what is going on there right now. I have my own struggles in my own life that I need to focus on. I can't focus on other things. It sucks. I wish the best for the people who are struggling. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do. There's nothing I'm going to be able to say or do. Maybe you should... No, Rajira. We're not running from this. Because I don't know what people want me to say. Right? Actually, I know what they want me to say, but I'm never going to say it, right? I'm not going to sit here and say any one side is more deserving of the other. It's two sides that have disagreements. But I'm going through my life as a blue-collar American, right? I'm not rich. I live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of times I barely get through the month. So where am I supposed to have the time to go and refocus all my attention on a war that doesn't directly affect whether or not I feed my daughter that night? You know what I mean? And that's all I'm trying to say here. You know, again, just we're saying it sucks that people are getting hurt and people are very desperate in this time. And I hope that everything works out and the best solution finds its way. I'm not rooting for a particular side. I'm just being real with you. I can sit here and lie, right? And tell you, I care so much about it and feed you a bunch of bullshit that you want to hear. But then I'm lying to myself, though. It's hard to separate this Twitch stuff from the genocide because it's politics adjacent, I guess. Yeah, and I'm finding that out the hard way, Nice Shirt. Because I came in here strictly looking to talk about the back and forth between Ethan and Hasan. And I knew that there's like an overarching umbrella that hangs and that many people are focused on that I was probably going to try to get dragged into talking about. But mainly I talk about influencers and creators and people who have beefs. But I'm the first one to sit here and tell you I am not qualified to talk about anything further than Ethan and Hasan and Frogan. All I can do is speak from my experience and say that living in America has been nice for me, and that's all I can really say about. That's all I got to really say about that.
Said that it fixed it shortly afterward, saying when signing up for a Twitch account, you can select an account verification method, email or phone, for added protection. Following the October 7th, 2023 attacks, we temporarily disabled signups with email verification in Israel and Palestine. And
Yeah, I don't mind talking to people if they're civil. Doesn't seem like Nice Shirt is just in here being like, you're stupid. So I don't mind talking to people like that. That's why I said what I said about the name. I mean, I do still think, okay, I get what you're saying, Rajira. Maybe it's a little too clickbaity, but I do believe that Frogan sucks. I do believe Frogan is pure evil, and the shit she said is terrible. But you're right. Maybe I should change it a little bit. I mean, it has been attracting a lot of people, though. It's been attracting a lot of people, so it's doing its job. Raj is being based. 22 people watching on YouTube. Not bad. Not bad. I'm sure the orange hoodies are clipping the shit out of this, being like, look at his takes. I can understand why she resents U.S. soldiers, and I also believe it should be hard to kill other people, and you should suffer when you do it. Otherwise, you would never stop. I don't understand why she resents U.S. soldiers. Isn't she an American citizen? Doesn't she live here? Those guys going over there to fight to make sure that she can live peacefully. And a lot of time they get sent into wars they have no business being in. So I will say that. There's been so many U.S. lives who've been lost for zero reason whatsoever. And it hasn't changed nothing. And that breaks my heart. But the way she said that all U.S. soldiers deserve PTSD, sorry, I can't get behind that. Never will get behind that. I'll go over next once I've gotten through some people needing... Yeah, no worries. No worries, sweet. Exactly, Soul. They're just chess pieces. So it's not like they're the ones who choose where to go. That's fair. Nice Shirt. I would definitely say that recruiters tend to target places like middle America where there's not a lot of work. And most of those people who don't have a lot of options. I mean, there's always going to be those who grow up playing Call of Duty who are like, I'm destined to do this in real life one day. But yeah, the majority of people who end up in the Army are people who are financially unstable, maybe single mom homes. It's an opportunity. They promise you opportunities for financial gain, which they do. I mean, the military takes care of you. You can make a lot of money if you are lucky enough to live through it. You can very easily stay out of the U.S. military. It is a choice to go and kill illegally for the U.S. Not true, Nice Shirt. Because you know how many jobs there are in the military? You know how many people join the Air Force thinking they're going to be fighter pilots just to end up being on the computer? Like, I'm a huge fan of military aviation. Right, I'm a big fan of I grew up loving military aviation planes, and I would love to fly one, right? And part of wanting to fly that plane means having to do some things you probably don't want to do. And I would be willing to guess that half of the PTSD, yeah, Daddy Scambay, thank you. He's a vet. When you went into the Army, did you get or wherever you went, Daddy Scambay, did you get the job you went in there for? I feel like most didn't, right? A lot of people might sign up for the Army just to be like a guy who fixes the trucks, right? Are they just as, and then they might get dragged into war or get ambushed while he's fixing the truck, and then all of a sudden it's either kill that guy or get killed. And plus, like, also, this is where your point is not good, Nice Shirt, and that's because if nobody volunteers for armed services, then our country is at risk of being vulnerable. Right? And then that puts me and my family at risk. Well, that's your opinion, Nice Shirt. I disagree vehemently. I think that the military is our sword, basically, and our shield. And I'm grateful for every single one of them, guys. I mean, I appreciate you sharing your opinions. I was a little lucky, but I exited after 4.5 years for real reasons. But you know what I mean. But I mean, it's your opinion, Nice Shirt. You can have that, right? I don't know. I personally think that veterans are awesome. And I'm honestly grateful for every single one of them.
Going on to claim we did this to prevent uploads of graphic material related to the attack and to protect the safety of users. With Twitch then going on to say that not letting users sign up with an email later on, that was a mistake and just an oversight and that it's fixed now. So this, as you might have noticed, there was a big community note on that. With that note claiming that Twitch's explanation is not true and that even phone verification signups weren't working. With now all of that said, and as things continue to play out in real time, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts with this mess? Any and all of it. I know there are a number of things at play here. Any and all of it. I'd love to hear from you in those comments down below.
See, and that's why we're watching Philly DeFranco. He managed to get through all of that without having to bring up the war in the Middle East once, right? But the minute I start talking about it, I get dragged in, kicking and screaming. But I do think that what Frogan said was bullshit. And, you know, that's your right to think that, I guess. But I think it's kind of gross. And I'm going to hold that opinion. I'm not going to change it. Because I know a lot of veterans, and all of them are great people who've been through shit that most of us can't even fathom. I mean, that's fine if you want to see your side, nice shirt, but I personally don't know how you could sit there and say that living in America and seeing clearly every day the benefits you get from people going off and fighting wars. The reason we go to other countries to fight wars is so we don't have to fight them in our front yard. We wouldn't be vulnerable if we stopped using our military strength simply to protect our economic interests. Well, that's the way that the country kind of got put together, Wawa, unfortunately. I mean, Eisenhower warned us about the military-industrial complex, but take, for instance, where I live in Philadelphia. We have a huge Boeing plant, and when war breaks out, everybody in Philadelphia gets an opportunity to go work. And when they get to go work, they get to make money, they get to support their families. It's a really effed up situation, but that's the reality of it. No, I mean, again, I'm not the person making these policies. Again, like I've said, I disagree with a lot of the places we've went. And I feel like we stick our nose in a lot of businesses we don't need to. At the same time, unfortunately, that's just seems to be what happens right now. It just seems to be the way it is. Our military budget is the largest in the world and not for our safety. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of times they're over there testing stuff out in other countries to see how weapons work. I feel like the whole reason we're so involved in Ukraine is just because, first off, we're trying to figure out how the Russian military operates. And secondly, I feel like we're testing a lot of our weapons that haven't been battlefield tested yet. I don't want to see war. War sucks. People die. It's not cool. Unfortunately, it's part of our lives, you know. Would I rather see peace and harmony and be able to go wherever I want in the world without having to worry about getting killed for being who I am? Yes, that would be nice. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. I heard Ichi was renaming the stream ADHD. Yeah, just random thoughts. So yeah, I think that's good. The U.S. is good. Every other country invades and murders people. I'd rather the U.S. have those big weapons and be in control of most of the world or the Western countries be in charge of most of the world than letting the other countries be. Can you imagine if China had the power we had? Everybody would be enslaved, dude. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Kim Jacobs, what's up? Hi, how are you? Good morning to you from your fan, Kim Alexandria in Australia. Thank you, Kim. Great to see you. I hope that you have, if it's morning there, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope it's weekend for you or something. And you get to just chill and enjoy your day. There's good people in this world and there's also bad people. But it's way more nuanced than just, he's good, he's bad. Like somebody who had murdered someone and is like going to be put away for the rest of their life because of that. They could have been nice in a lot of other aspects of their life. How can you say that China would enslave the entire world with no evidence? Are you kidding me, Wawa? Just go look at how they build their tech, dude. It's a communist country. They have nets around the outside of buildings so that people can't jump off. Give me a break. That's like, I don't even know how to like respond to that, man. I don't know if you're just reading the wrong shit or what, but good people can do bad things. Both things can be true at the same time, just like good intentions can be bad intentions. I'm sure that Hitler thought that what he was doing was good. Well, it turned out not to be the case at all. All right, I want to see Ethan Klein's Twitch video. Yeah, this is it. Twitch has a baby.
Hello, everybody. It's Ethan Klein from my basement. Beautiful Friday evening.
Look at that basement, dude. Yeah, this guy's struggling. You don't think that if China had the opportunity to take over other countries, they wouldn't? Wawa, really? I mean, come on. They definitely would. They'd have everybody adopt the way, just like America's trying to spread democracy throughout the world, China would spread the way they do things throughout the world. There's a reason that China is doing so well, and that's because they don't pay the people. They pay it like dirt to the people who are working for them. It's 9 a.m. in Australia, Saturday. Awesome. Thank you, Kim. I hope that you have an awesome Saturday and do a lot of fun shit.
My kids just went to sleep, and I opened Reddit to browse my community, who I love so well. And at the top of the subreddit is this very lovely clip entitled, "Just a casual panel provided by Twitch at their con, broadcasted on their official channel." What is it? Well, it's a panel.
I will say, nice shirt. Thank you for having like a civil debate and bringing your points like eloquently and not just like raging like the people who were here before you.
Hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator, and it's kosher. They're an American company, but they've been the subject of the...
Just people. Yeah, don't even worry about it. It was just people came in, asked me a question, nice shirt, and then just waited for me to start responding to pick apart anything I said and try to twist it into, supporting genocide, which I don't support whatsoever.
The pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad. I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way. And what's crazy is that I've been suspecting that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem. Obviously, it started with Hasan platforming Houthi terrorists and showing unfettered terrorist propaganda on his channel.
No, Wawa, because I'm not talking about that right now. What do you want me to do? Go on a complete tangent, like going through and showing you point by point what China is? We're not talking about China right now. Why would I abandon the entire topic of what we were talking about today to go to prove to just you that China is enslaving people? Go look it up yourself. It's all the evidence is right there. It's pretty easy to find.
But now, they've unbanned Sneeko.
Down with the Yahud! Down with the Yahud!
And they've just unbanned Fresh and Fit this week. These are two of the most prolific Jew-hating creators.
I'm not worried about it, Soul. They're not being like too over the top, so I'm not. They could stay as long as they're not like trying to hijack the stream like the people before.
On the entire internet. And these are the two they've targeted to bring back. Now,
I will admit, I'm not really a fan of hummus. I prefer Philadelphia cream cheese every day.
taking this all in account, here's an officially sanctioned event at TwitchCon. Let's take a look at it and see what exactly is Twitch endorsing here.
Okay.
It's the perfect transition to our first person, Hasan.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder where they're going to put Hasan. I'm going to guess they're going to put him in Arab.
Hasan is Turkish, but he's a brother.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope they don't ever get the chance, Wawa, to prove me right, because then you would probably have a pretty terrible day, too. Ethan's pretty dumb for this one. I don't think so, Nice Shirt. I think he's got a pretty good point. All right, now, I'm assuming you're probably not Jewish, but if somebody had like something like this regarding whatever you came from and it was flipped the opposite way, I think you might feel some type of way about it, too. It's about putting yourself in other people's feet and seeing their perspective. You don't necessarily have to agree with everything, but, well, Ethan is not a very popular guy. I'll be the first to admit. And to be honest, I don't really agree with 90% of what Ethan says. But in this particular instance, I can see what he's saying.
You know, so.
Yeah, I think he'd be on Arab coded.
I mean, I would put him in Arab, to be honest.
I would put him also in Arab.
Which is great. That's the good one. That's the one you want.
Austin, let's go down the line.
He's Arab.
Arab.
He's Arab.
Well, I will admit, I feel like Caucasians have had a pretty easy streak of trying to have good humor about people busting on us, but I think it's getting a little into sketchy territory. How can you not take this as like anti-Semitism? I mean, the evil side is the side that is Israeli, and the good side is the side that's Arab. She's not being blatant, like she's coding it, but when you look at it, how can you see anything other than, oh, if it's bad, it's Sabra hummus, which is a very popular thing in Israel. It's clear that this is like meant to be a joke towards Jewish people. I mean, I don't know how you can't see that.
Arab.
He's
actual
Arab.
Lebanese. Like,
Yeah.
Good job.
Your floss is getting
Good
so
job,
good.
Austin.
The next person is one of my favorite
Do you see I did all dishes and stuff?
people, Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one. That's
Oh, Jewish.
Where's the
Now listen, I disagree. In fact, I used to hate Ethan Klein. I thought I couldn't really stand him. I still kind of can't stand him. But in this one particular instance, I get what he's saying. And I pride myself on being like somebody who sees things from all different points of view.
You guys are missing a category for Zionist. That was a joke. That was just a joke in my
stand up.
We're very proud of you, Denims, for bringing anti-Semitism right on stage, and you guys are killing it. And
I can prove Sweet Got's not a cave troll.
may
She's Scottish. It's close, but a little different.
point out here, Chevron, Capcom, and Samsung. Do you know that there is an Arab to Jew tier list happening in front of your sponsor. And you guys were so kind to sitting right in front of them. Chevron, Samsung, and Capcom. By the way, a bit of irony. I love that they're boycotting hummus and sitting in front of a Chevron logo. Like, yeah, I wonder which one's doing more damage. Okay. We know Twitch is like...
There's like, okay. I want to say there's like 4 categories of political parties, all right? You have the alt-right, which is all like the skid heads, the people who are like ridiculously obsessed with Donald Trump. Then you have like the people who just kind of like agree with most things conservative. You know, maybe they'll drive pickup truck like country music, but the most part, like they'll stop and help anybody flick a tire, like change their tire. You know, they just believe in old-fashioned values, old-fashioned classic families. They don't really hate gays. They're just kind of like, it's whatever, it's not my thing, but good for them. Let them enjoy their lives. And then you have the opposite side of that, which would be the left, people who believe everybody should get a fair shake. You know, they're not quite socialist, don't want to, you know, they still want to keep democracy. And then you have the far left, where everybody needs to burn if you don't agree with us every single thing they say. That's where we're at. And right now, the 2 people in the middle are kind of getting destroyed by these 2 sides here. So I represent these people, particularly this one. No, wow, you want me to go and sit here and abandon what my topic of my stream is just to prove a point to you, which you could easily look up. One Google search. Well, then nice shirt. I would probably say you're probably fall more. You're not like crazy leftist. You're more in the ordinary, more like classical liberal, I would probably say then. And judging by the way that we've spoken today, I would probably say you fall into that category. That's not a broad brush. I just separated it into 4 different categories. If it was a broad brush, I would say everybody over on the right likes pickup trucks and hating on the blacks, and everybody on the left thinks everything needs to be woke and everybody's gay. Heck no, I'm not classical. Okay, well, I don't know what you want me to do, man. I'm not gonna break down your entire political party. But I mean, there's different shades of it. I'm solidly leftist. Remember what I said about the military. Okay, and you're solidly leftist. Then do it at one Google search. No, I refuse. This is my stream. I do what I want.
Like, place favorites with everything. If they were really serious about anti-Semitism, Sneeko and Fresh and Fit would never have been brought back to the platform.
Yeah, I don't understand why Sneeko and Fresh and Fit were even brought back in to begin with. Sneeko's just like, and didn't he got like banned like right after.
It's just a no-brainer, right? But they were welcomed back with open arms. And I mean, their whole platform essentially for the past year has just been anti-Semitism. I'm not even kidding. And that's literally all they talk about. I don't know what to say. You know, I've kind of been put in this position where like, I watch this clip and I'm like, what the fuck am I actually watching? This is mad. I need to say something.
That's right, Carlos Staub. He does.
Chevron, Samsung, and
we will not be bullied.
Capcom. They deserve to know. You know, I know Capcom put in a Shmuley the Rabbi in the next.
I think it has to be nice shirt. It has to be an oopsie because like Sneeko is just like the worst thing. Like he stands for everything that Twitch doesn't want at this point.
Street Fighter game, who attacked.
I'll ignore the negative stuff, but if people have something intelligent to say, I will give them their due diligence, Sarah.
With the dreidels and throws foreskin, so they are very.
You gotta admit, it's good content. It's better content than all of us just circle jerking. Which don't get me wrong, I enjoy that personally.
In touch.
Exactly. Zach gets it. Like, get the popcorn out.
With the Jewish identity. So we're going to have to ask them.
Little bit of conflict never hurt nobody.
That's it. Enjoy the weekend. I know there's going to be lots of obfuscating and excuses for this video. And, you know, let's be real, guys. Let's just look at this optically. Imagine this flipped. Super Jew and colonizer on the bottom, right? And I go, Frogan. We know where she goes. She goes to the bottom. Like, let's be fucking real, okay? No one else would get that treatment. So don't even try to pretend or act like this is some innocent little mistake.
Yeah, okay. Here's a good way to put it for anybody who falls on the left. Let's say they played a game like this that was similar, and then the bad side would be somebody who falls under the category of being like a black person, right? And then at the top was a white person, right? And everything that was good ended up being put on the white person. Everything that was bad got put on the black person. That would probably piss a lot of people off, right? This is no different. I mean, yeah, we're talking about religion, but this is kind of how Ethan has to look at it. And again, like, I don't even like Ethan Klein, but I'm willing to admit when I think someone's right. And I think he's right. I'm pretty sure, it's the insinuation that comes from Sabra Hummus being labeled there. Next. Where are we going next? XQC reacts to Ethan crashing out on Hasan's stream.
They've all been banned. Nobody. There's not a
Can't wait to see what XQC has to say about this.
Dissenting voice with his fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic, fucking pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-terrorism takes. This is fringe, psychotic shit that is not normal. And it is the only...
I'll be the first to admit, Nice Shark, I'm not like up to date on my Middle Eastern foreign relations memeage. I mean, I'm not a fan of hummus myself. Like I said, I prefer cream cheese.
Only acceptable voice
my
on
bagels.
Twitch. Explain that to me. How is there not one dissenting voice on that entire platform? And this has really contributed to a lot.
I mean, that's a good point, too. There's no way Ben Shapiro would ever be able to be on Twitch. Like, no way in hell.
A lot of extremism being normalized is because young people are on Twitch. They go to Hasan, and they think this is normal. And it's the only option. You can't even click over.
Imagine if Dan Clancy wasn't actually very public and didn't go on people's streams. Imagine if he did it. If he did what all corporates do, which they always do, is never have a face out there, never have any sort of recognizability. Don't put a name or a face on any big title. They would get away with everything. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It would be GG. It would be GG. It's kind of a blessing that the guy's been going out there because he's putting his neck out, dude, and he's getting slammed. That is what it is. Like, that's just kind of how that goes. Because look at all the companies out there that do absolute evil, right? But we don't even know who the fuck they are. They don't have a guy saying, guys, by the way, I'm the guy.
Have you seen Jack's film XQC video that just came out? I'll check that out next, Kevin, because I have been keeping tabs on the whole Jack's Films thing.
Hello, guys. I'm here for Nestle. How's it going? Like, nobody does that shit, so nobody goes after them.
Again, as usual, XQC not offering much in the way of intelligence, but, you know, at least he tried. At least I could understand a couple words that he said that time. I've been listening to the whole time and finally got home G's at the stuff that was going on here, I'll tell you what. Yeah, the beginning was just a shit show, to be honest with you. Just a total shit show. Ethan Klein versus Hasan Piker explained by Hasan. All right, this will be the last thing we look at in regards to this.
Might have some Zionist opinions because of the past 12 months of an ongoing genocide and his coverage on the matter, centering himself as he looks to ban prominent pro-Palestinian voices off the platform.
Oh my God, dude. He has to say this shit, right? He has to. That's his whole audience.
With ridiculous smears that they are being anti-Semitic. That's it. I think a lot of people fail to consider that when I choose not to show certain things coming from Ethan's side, it is not because I'm fearful of the brilliant points that he's making. It's more so that it's disappointing, it's sad to see, and beyond that, it's more so to, in some ways, not present him in the worst possible light that he is desperately presenting himself as.
Doesn't it seem odd that everybody who's ever been friends with Hasan ends up finding themselves across from him at some point? Anybody else ever put that whole thing together? That Hasan can't seem to keep a friend to save his life?
We got to talk about this Twitch dumpster fire, because there are actually several different news stories happening here, though kind of at the center of it, you have Ethan Klein, Hasan Piker, and a creator by the name of Frogan. But where we'll start is with the fact that over the past few days, we've seen the platform accused of ignoring anti-Semitism by creators like Ethan Klein. Multiple content creators have been banned for what were deemed hateful comments, and all...
Yeah, but they're like the two most prominent fingers, Nice Shirt. Like, they're the two biggest ones. They were his closest allies. And now both of them worked with him closely and now are on the opposite side. I mean, anybody who's under him, and okay, let's put it this way. Anybody who's at equal level of celebrity as him always finds themselves rivaling with him, it seems.
All of the fallout that's come from that as creators and fans go after one another. Though technically, you could say that all of this started when Asmongold made his horrendous
Probably keep it that way, sweet.
Gaza, which, as we covered on the show, was something he apologized profusely for after getting banned. But then the spotlight on the situation shifted after Klein put out a video last Thursday called Twitch Has a Major Problem. And in that video...
Yeah, but they're not just two guys. They're two entire communities, Nice Shirt. They're like two huge, massive communities on the left.
Ethan claims that Twitch harbors anti-Semites and actively ignores it. And as some evidence, he points out that Twitch recently unbanned Sneeko and Fresh and Fit, or content creators that are
I believe they're both banned.
And plus, like, there's a whole nother group of leftist content creators who all hate one another as well. You don't see a lot of that on the right. I mean, I know that Steven Crowder had all that bullshit with Daily Wire, but I think he just did that for his own, gain.
Banned now, by the way. So I hope that he mentions that.
ambiguously anti-Semitic.
This was completely unacceptable, for the record. This was so unimaginably unacceptable. I saw a clip that's really funny, though. Sneeko was saying that me, Pokimane, and XQC demanded he get banned because he's pro-Palestinian. And even his own fans were like, what are you talking about, dog? I know for a fact that Hasan is pro-Palestine. But even his own fans were like, what the hell is this head saying? They're still unbanned on YouTube? Yeah, that's not surprising. But anyway.
And then on top of that, he highlighted this segment from an official panel at TwitchCon, where multiple Arab content creators alongside some non-Arabs made a tier list.
Well, it's a panel.
Yeah, I know there's infighting, but that wasn't the case. It seems like all this shit has gone on recently. I know that Crowder kind of started all that shit. I honestly don't follow politics enough, though, to really care. I'm more interested in influencers and what they do on their day-to-day basis.
Panel hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator. And
Listen, guys, I know this isn't normally what we cover, but sometimes you got to cover the tough shit to throw your name out there. You know what I mean? Whether it's for the good or the bad, we got to do what we got to do.
It's kosher.
Wait, is this the thing? Yeah, this is the thing.
American company, but they've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott.
Why boycott Sabra? The Strauss Group, chaired by Offer Strauss, is a pattern providing funding and supporting the Israeli military, including the elite Golani
Oh, I'm going to stream either way, so.
and Gavati brigades. Any purchase of Sabra products generates income for the Strauss Group, which then supports the Israeli military and its human rights violations against Palestinians. Due to the Strauss Group's support for the Israeli army, Sabra is considered an important boycott target for the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement, which was launched by Palestinian civil society in 2005. BDS seeks to use nonviolent forms of economic pressure against companies that are complicit in Israeli oppression of Palestinians. Will anybody read the fine print? Probably not. I suspect that if someone were to read the fine print, they would come to a very different conclusion than the one that was being presented here.
I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad.
It's not. That's not what this was about at all, for the record. It's no different than someone talking about who's valid in black culture. If you had a bunch of black content creators who made a tier list, and at the top of the tier list was invited to the cookout.
Did I not just do the same exact thing?
The bottom of the tier list was puts raisins and potatoes.
I try to respond to everybody nice, sure. It's just kind of the way I do my streaming. Like, I'm not by no means someone who's big enough to really say, oh my God, did my camera freeze?
Salad. That is exactly what this is. Why would 90% of the
Or
people in
is
the
this
bottom
a
category be
screen?
non-Jewish, anti-Zionist anyway? Yeah.
Yep.
Had Michael from Pennsylvania at the bottom tier list, as in it had nothing to do with Judaism whatsoever. But they aren't all one race, though? What do you mean? How is it not? But they all aren't one race, though. You know, the panel that put that together also had a, Arab Jew from Lebanon. That is one of the hosts of the podcast, Arabs, which you should support on Patreon, because every single one of them got banned for 30 days. Denims was also in the Sabra, loves Sabra category. It wasn't the Sabra category. It
Your
was
neighbor's
loves
having a
Sabra.
party and
The
they
reason why
didn't
I'm
even
mentioning this
invite
distinction is
you?
because Love Sabra does not make grammatical sense if people were referring to Sabra in the way that Ethan is going to frame it. Loves Jews born in Israel is what he's going to say. It is something that I
spooky,
didn't know
isn't
either,
it?
by the way, and I learned about this since this drama occurred.
And I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way. And what's crazy is that I've been
Look, I'm Catholic, all right? I'm not involved in this at all. Just going to be very clear here.
suspecting that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem. Obviously, it started with Hasan platforming.
Listen, that's okay, Nice Shirt. If you like Hasan, you like Hasan. I personally, in this particular argument, I see where Ethan's coming from.
Houthi terrorists and showing unfettered terrorist propaganda on his channel.
I think everybody having different perspectives is a good thing.
And then along with that,
yeah, that was really the unfettered terrorist propaganda in that channel is showcasing a part of Yemeni culture in a lighthearted manner with their gift for musicals when they were being
Nice, sweet. I see. I knew you knew everybody in
Which I
Scotland.
will not show, obviously. I will not show again any longer, despite the fact that I show literally every single type of military.
That's why we're listening to him, Nice Shirt. I'm letting him give me a chance, and giving him a chance to try and win me over. But right now, I'm still leaning towards Ethan.
Musical, including but not limited to the American military, but we don't view it in the same way, was directly about being genocide.
Plus, I mean, it's hard for me to get behind Hasan when I know he said things like, America deserved 9/11. I mean, that, I don't know. That rubbed me the wrong way, personally. Especially since I've known firefighters who had to go into those buildings, So maybe I'm a little too close to the issue.
Side about the Saudis, for the record.
Line also added,
If they were really serious about anti-Semitism,
Is he wearing a rug? He might be.
And Fresh and Fit would never have been brought back.
So this part I don't disagree with. Like that's the other issue here.
Well
I
said,
hate that
Saul.
I'm being lumped
Plain
in with
and
this
simple.
Like it's f***ing ridiculous, and he knows better. Like he knows that I despise these people.
To the platform. It's just a no-brainer, right? But they were welcomed back with open arms. And I mean, their whole platform essentially for the past year.
Like implying that I had any say whatsoever in these gross losers who despise me as much as they hate fucking Ethan, and he knows that better than anybody else, is crazy. Any sort of implication that I had anything to do with them being unbanned is so insane. My communities got hate rated by Sneakos not that long ago because I said it was ridiculous that he was getting unbanned. They were spamming like insane anti-Semitic, insane like Nazi I think it was him and like Aiden's community that were very upset. Not that long ago. They were pummeling. They were like doxing people in Twitter comms and that.
I don't watch enough of Sneeko to really know his points, but I've definitely heard him say some pretty dumb stuff. It's like everybody who is like somewhere in between these guys gets forgotten in this whole thing. And that's where we are.
That's what I have to deal with every day from guys like that. It's so weird. He's not implying that. Get ready for the react video. I think it's really cynical to interpret this in any way, shape, or form. If you lump me in with these guys coming back on Twitch, I'm sorry. You are, whether cynically, inadvertently, or deliberately, doing that. Okay? That is the implication. That is absolutely the implication. Okay? I'm sorry. The title of the video says Hasan Piker Twitch problem, and he's talking about.
Oh, his shirt is bandanas. It's the bandanas logo. So it's like red bandanas and then black bandanas with a little white shading.
Nazis being invited back. Like, that's crazy. It's equating good faith criticisms of Israel with actual anti-Semites. Yeah, that also is like something that I find to be
never winked at me
disgusting.
before.
Especially considering that I rail on anti-Semitic, anti-Israel people on a regular basis,
you got something in
including
your
but
eye.
not limited to Fresh and Fit and Sneeko.
Semitism. I'm not even kidding. And that's literally all they talk about.
Now, all of that then led to Frogan.
Why does Ethan Klein have the Einstein haircut going?
Responding and writing on Twitter. Ethan Klein lied again and said myself, Arabs, which is the show, and our guest did a tier list where, quote, good equals Arab and Jew equals bad, which isn't what happened. Our tier list was, quote, who has Habibi Pass, which is a meme tier list we did with a variety of creators. Here is the clip with the context, rather than sharing a clip from that event and adding. The whole basis of my podcast, Arabs with Capri and Raf, is that we are all Arabs from different religious backgrounds. I am Muslim, Capri is Christian, and Raf is Jewish. Sabra hummus is objectively the worst hummus to exist and is the unfortunate standard of hummus in the US. Right, so with that, you had some feeling that was a reasonable response.
He knows Raf is Jewish, right? Also, he'd watch the segment at all. He would have seen Ye put some friends in the Sabra tier. And as someone who was there live, it was all lighthearted and good
What's
fun.
up, Gypsy Rose?
The worst hummus. Imagine taking an obvious joke so personally, kind of sad, really.
Others still called it a dog whistle to say Israeli without saying, especially given the context Klein gave earlier about its popularity in Israel. However, all of that was kind of just the tip of the iceberg, because Frogan ended up deciding just a day later to open up an entirely new can of worms.
Guys, I'm kind of over this. I don't really care anymore. Kind of want to find something else to talk about. Anybody put anything in my inbox for me that might be interesting to look at? Squirrel. Yeah, squirrel. I got to get that clip in there, Daddy Scambait. So every time we go on an ADHD rant, I could just play it and then we talk about something else. Yeah, Gypsy missed all the trolls. There was a lot today. Lots of trolls today. Even Salad Fingers is better at this point. Yeah, I'm just not into it anymore. So, okay. If anybody wants to know my take on Frogan getting banned, she deserved it. If anybody wants to know my take on Stinko coming back, he didn't really deserve it. Fresh and Fit, don't even watch them. Don't know what they really talk about too much. If anybody wants to know my Middle Eastern takes, everybody just give each other a hug. There I am. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out on this special Friday stream. Nice shirt. It was nice meeting you. Probably one of the more based people we've met over on Kick. Again, thank you guys so much. Soul, thank you so much for the dono. You know we love you here. Miss Lately loves you too. I think I'm a little transparent. There's like some weird thing going on my shirt right here. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I can't really tell what it is. But you can see through me a little bit. I gotta fix that. Yeah, Janie Minaj, this was such a weird stream. It started off like aggressive as hell, and then everybody kind of chilled out a little bit, and then we were able to get to that. Thank you. That is a nice shirt. Yeah, My Chemical Romance, little My Chemical Romance shirt there for you. Special thanks to you guys. Yeah, it's because I have a green light lighting the green screen to try to make it a little brighter so that it pops a little more. Yeah, nice shirt. You're always welcome to come back. We might not always agree on everything, but we usually talk about drama that doesn't involve politics or just crazy stories and all kinds of other stuff. But again, appreciate you. Take everyone, stay safe. Love to Mrs. Lately and Little Lately. Yeah, Little Lately is over her mother's this weekend, so it's me and Mrs. Lately just enjoying some time off. Although I am working all weekend. So that sucks. I'm not looking forward to that. I got to wake up again super early tomorrow. But that's why I'm getting off now so that I can go spend some time with the love of my life. Thank you, Gypsy. And thank you again to everybody who hung out tonight. Much love to you all. And I will see you guys when I see you.